guys, Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I love it when you drop in the shop. Thanks a lot. You know what? The wood shed, it's becoming a lumber storage shed, and the sooner that happens, the better I'll like it. So we're working at it again. Let's go have a look. Alright, one of the issues I'm having here is because this lean-to was just built on grade, I've no frost wall, no real good foundation under this, so consequently this lean-to moves. Every winter it moves. Anyways, what happens here now is, wait till I just show you, on the rain gutter, there's, I don't know, 2.5 inches here. It goes away to nothing in the middle, and then back down here it's about 2.5 inches. So now this rain gutter, keep in mind that this is the high end and it tapers down this way to the drain. So what I'm trying to say with all this is the center of this lean-to is higher than the ends. So consequently, when I put my level on the sill here, down here, it shows it's high on the left, low on the right. When I put my sheets on, I'd like them all to line up at the bottom. Well, you can see right away this one's not lined up. You see how the new sheet is about 1 inch lower. And also, not only is it 1 inch lower, but there's about 1 inch gap at the top here as well. So what do you do to combat that? What I'm planning on doing, and this is just me doing this, right? Like I said before, I'm not a carpenter, I'm not an expert. I don't really know what I'm doing. I figure things out as I go along. But this is how I'm going to try and camouflage it. I'm going to take this sheet of paneling and I'm going to move this foot that I have it laying on down here until I can get it to line up tight with this with the old sheet. All right, so that means it's got to go to the left up at the top. I'm going to move that over to the left. One of the advantages of having the smart panel with no grooves in it is I don't have to worry about my grooves lining up parallel. The wood grain in the wood, it shows up kind of clear, but it also hides a lot. So I think if I were to tip this whole panel to the left to close that gap at the top, it wouldn't be that noticeable that the wood grain is on a slant, on an angle. Also, when I do that, I have to cut out for the door here. So I only need a piece up here that's about, might be 20 inches wide, 22 inches wide or something. And I can cut that at the proper angle so that it will fit tight. And then hopefully no one will notice that that wall is all not plumb. Okay, so I lowered took the shoe off there and lowered that edge of the panel, and I moved it over, so now this gap here is pretty well tight. What that does is up here at the top, it really shows that that piece is not level, but I'm going to put a soffit in here this time, so that's going to cover that up. Down here at the bottom, it's about 2 inches low on this side, below the white trim board. I think I'm going to just cut a line across there to try to make that illusion of that going away. So what I'm going to do now is get my pencil. I'm going to mark the inside of that where I have to cut it out. So. The line along the bottom certainly does show up that it's slanted, but we'll look away whenever we look over this way at that. We won't look at that part. Well, the rain chased me away yesterday. It started raining there yesterday afternoon, so we couldn't finish what I was trying to get done here, putting the sheathing on the woodshed. But I did do a little bit before the rain got too bad. I managed to close in up the top of the doorway there, and I got this piece put on here to close that in. So I'm going to lay out on this new sheet the first piece of gable. So the measurement on this side was 43 3/8, 28 1/2. Oops. Okay, I've got my fence set, my line marked, my saw is set here, the proper depth, so we're going to start cutting. I double checked my measurements too, by the way. Here we go. Here we go. It could be a little tighter perhaps, but I think it's going to be okay. Well, that about does it for the sheathing. So I'm cutting some trim to put on here. You try that right there like that. So I'm going to start to try and hang the door. I'm going to start by putting this top jam piece in. Well, we're back at the woodshed here, working on another day. Oh man, it was hot yesterday, and it just wore me right out, so I couldn't finish this job. But what I'm up to start off here today is I got the door hung, and you know, when I was building this frame here, I tried to make it as square and true as I could, but still, once I got the door on, in order to get the door to swing true and level, and it's not doing too bad there, I ended up with you can't see it because it's so dark inside, but up here there's quite a little space behind that piece of the jamb on the door where it's down at the bottom. It's tight against the rough stud opening. So what I have to do is cut a piece of wood to slide in behind this now to support this part, because this is basically how the door is supported. Okay, so we have those pieces in there. All right. So this piece is going to go right in here. We're basically going to set this to get the reveal that we want on the door. Now what I need to do is I need to go to work and make a threshold, because I've got quite an opening down here at the bottom. But I knew that was going to happen, and I'd rather have a big opening there because I can fix that with a threshold, right? Okay, I need to make myself a threshold, and I took some measurements out there, and I want my threshold to look something like this. I want it to be, this is the profile of it. This is not to scale, this is just a sketch. All right, and then it's going to be long like that, and then long like that, like that. All right, the depth of it here is going to be 2.5 inches. It's going to be 36.5 long. It's going to be 5.25 wide. I want this front edge to be 2 inches, and I want this face here to be 3 inches. So, pretty simple, right? Trouble is, I don't have any stock that's 2.5 inches thick. I've got material that I can make a threshold that's 2.5 inches thick, but I have to laminate it. Okay, so I have my piece of 2x6 here. I didn't rip it down to 5.25 because it's only 5.5 to begin with, so I'm just wondering if maybe 5.5 is going to work out all right. So let's just get this set in here. So I have some screws here, I may as well put this in place. And I'm not putting any caulking on this one because I don't have enough clothes. Okay, so that's the proper width now. Now what I have to do is across the top here, 3 inches, and then taper that down to 1/2 inch or something, right? Just what I want to do is have that sloping away so that it'll shed water. Okay, so I think I have my saw set about right. I'm not sure if it's exact. So what I'm doing here is I have a scrap piece of the 1x6. I'm just going to cut that and see what it looks like. Alright, there's the result of my cut. I needed to be 1/2 inch here, but it doesn't matter if it's 1/2 inch. That looks like it's probably 3/8. And it didn't quite make it through here, but I think I could break that off, and that would be alright. It would leave me like a little step, right? I think that might work good. Okay, here we go. Okay, now what I want to do is set my fence at 3 inches and just run a little narrow bead down there to knock the edge off of that. So that doesn't look too bad. We're going to try that. Okay, I had to do some tweaking here on the end to get this threshold piece to fit under the door jamb on the hinge side. But hopefully it'll be all right now. So that doesn't look too bad. See, the sweep on this door it's all broke, so I'll have to get another sweep. But once I get that, then it'll come up against that little taper I put there on the threshold, and I think it'll be good. I may as well screw that down. What do you think? Alright, I think we're done with that. So we started out here, we had lattice. Alright, I got the wood shed closed in with the door on it. Hey, that's good. It's a little step closer to getting the shop cleaned up a little. I've got a lot more to do in there. I want to put a floor in it, I got to put soffits on it, and I have to paint it of course, but as far as I'm concerned right now this project is good to go because it's weather tight, so I can start putting stuff in there. So thanks for watching. I sure hope you enjoyed this video about me redoing my wood shed, turn it into a lumber shed. Let me know in the comments what you think about it all, and I hope you're doing good wherever you are and having a good summer. It's almost over. Thanks folks, we'll talk to you soon.